Alright guys, this build is absolutely insane. We're mixing in Genji, Widowmaker, and Sombra all into one character. So here's the CyberPunk build. Let's go ahead and open up with some gameplay though. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple things. So we're going to start hacking some stuff. We're going to reboot the optics. We're going to also go ahead and ping this target over here. So that one will give me all the info. You can see it kind of outlines the other enemies here. So we go ahead and eliminate him. Maybe swap to, let's say, a sniper. Get a headshot. And now we can dash around, we can block, and this can actually deflect just like Genji. We got the double jump. You can also mess around with an EMP, because that's kind of what Sombra does, right? So that's the inspiration for this build, and it absolutely just shreds content. Like, watch this guy. We can just eliminate him over here. But you can also throw another EMP on this. You see, we can just perform the finisher. Basically get like a berserking over here. So this is my favorite build in the build that you guys have been asking for. Another finisher. Alright, so another quick thing I want to go over before we go over the build is basically the movement, as it's kind of tied to your survivability in the build. So basically how the air dash works is you can dash, jump, and then air dash. So you can basically just go around going like this, and you will be able to basically block and attack at the same time. If you've ever played Guns to Duel, kind of think of it like that, except for you're just keeping your sword out. You can't really swap weapons that fast. But this is kind of how you can play if you want that Dragon Blade Genji permanent gameplay playstyle. But let's go ahead and go over the equipment as well as how the build actually works. So starting right off, let's go over the cyberware. So I'm gonna mouse over some of the stuff a little bit quick, because not everything I have I would consider it best in slot, but you're kind of looking for these pieces of gear on the items. Basically anything with extra health, extra damage reduction, extra melee damage, kind of just look for that. And basically we were filling everything up just so we can get some sort of bonus. You don't have to copy this exactly. I'm just giving it to you guys as kind of a reference so you can kind of see the stats that I was kind of looking for on the pieces of gear. Now this one's great because it gives us max health. Now in terms of where to find these things, maybe in the future we can make the video also have the location, because some of these, like I said, they're not like best in slot. This is just basically a build guide for those of you guys that came into the live stream and are like, dude, this build looks sick, I want to try it. You can see most of the stuff just has damage resistance as well as melee damage. That's where we get primarily most of our damage. But the other thing that you do want is to get the reinforced tendons or anything that's going to give you a double jump. This is important because Genji has a double jump, right? And then we have basically the same stuff. Again, any sort of thing that we can get, like this one over here, it just gives us the ability to have the blood pump, so it just is our heal. But the stats on it, like quick hack, I don't really care about that. Like, it's just, it happens to fit the build, so that's what I use during my gameplay. And then we also have like this heal on kill over here. We've got this thing just to fill up every single slot, because every single slot filled up gives me a bonus on the build. But again, some of this like carrying capacity is like, okay, it kind of works, but we also get ricochet damage with this, which is cool. But for the most part, again, some of these things I can't even benefit off the build, but nonetheless, health, I get extra bonus headshot damage. This one over here is for the imprint, but we can replace this with something else if we want to. And as we go further with our cyber capacity, the more we go past our limit of what we're supposed to have, it actually can hurt us, but it also gives us a benefit of getting what's called Fury, which is kind of optional. As I've kind of leveled up, we've gotten more capacity, so we can actually reduce our health even further. But this is kind of up to you on how much you want to risk your HP for more potential and damage. But this was just here because it was kind of fun to mess around with. But we get extra damage per attribute point over here in int. And then for our operating system, I basically just threw on a bunch of the different mods just so I can have a lot more fun. I know a lot of you guys just pretty much want the build in terms of the stat points, so let's go ahead and go over that next, as well as all of the items. So starting right off, in terms of getting the gameplay to feel like Genji, to just dash around, just kill stuff super fast, we want to just basically go into reflexes. Normally I'd have like some gameplay playing in the background, but what's cool with CyberPunk is all of these skills that are like the bigger nodes have a little like gameplay here to show. So starting right off, we're going to be going over reflexes. We want to put 20 points into reflexes, and then you just copy paste a tree. So the important things, I'm just going to go over them really quick. So basically dashing around makes the game way better. You can also get stunt drop that lets you jump off of your vehicle. Just looks cool. It's not really necessary at all. Some of these things, I'm going to be honest, you don't need, but just so you have the exact same build that you guys saw in the gameplay, as well as what I played during the campaign, and we just rolled through the entire campaign with this build. Yeah, you want air dashing. It just keeps you up, and you have a lot of like mitigation chance, and that just gives you the ability to not really take as much damage, which is awesome. So we are able to control ourselves in the air with these points. And then the most important thing is Tailwind, making it so air dashers do not consume stamina. This is one of the best things in the entire game because, well, if you're up in the air, they're not hitting you with any of the ground AoE, any of the mines, any of the other things that are just on the ground. Basically getting extra counterattack, and then this lets us block. And then later there's an upgrade. This is my favorite thing, the bullet deflect. It just makes me feel cool in the game. Honestly, yes, I could probably just dash around, kill him faster, but it just fulfills the fantasy of playing like Genji. So we got to get the bullet deflection over here. And then we're getting the finisher. So finishers are great in the game. It lets you just eliminate a target instantly and basically dismember them. And then with dismemberments and other like finishers, we gain some sort of a bonus here. So yeah, you want to put 3 points into here. And then we get extra finisher range. We are able to get more chance of finishers via these other conditions. And then we have extra movement speed and attack speed after we do a finisher. And on top of that, we have extra stamina from dismemberments. And all of our attacks and counterattacks actually apply a bleed, which is going to increase the dismemberment chance. When we are going to dismember them, the target's basically not going to be doing things if it doesn't have a head. Robots can be a little bit different, but for the most part, yeah, you're just going to be melting content. So this is like the Genji fantasy over here, but I went further and decided to make it a little bit tankier. So if you're interested in just the Genji stuff, this is the most important part for the melee build portion of the video, right? And over here we have in body, I put 15 points into this just so I can get Adrenaline Rush, gives us extra HP, and I liked being able to move around a little bit faster because I like to play and run around really fast. So I just put literally 15 points into this just for this. Extra 35 max health was kind of nice, but just all of these are overall pretty dang nice. This could be another thing if you wanted to consider, you can consider it, but I was pretty happy. You can see we still have a bunch of points and I felt like this build's ready to go. So I decided to make a video, and you could play this as you are leveling in the campaign. This is what I used to level in the campaign while we were leveling up. Obviously we didn't start off with everything because this was a brand new skill tree, but I think I wasn't level 1 when we started because I loaded in a save from the previous one. But we already went over reflexes. Next is the technical ability. So we just got all things cyber. A lot of these are going to be up to you if you want to get these. But I liked having this in the very beginning because we were able to exceed our cyberware capacity up to 50 points at the cost of HP. So you will lose more HP, but you're going to be able to get a chance to actually go into a fury state, which increases your damage, your crit chance, and crit damage. Because you can eliminate like things really fast, if you just have this at like, let's say 10%, that's pretty solid, honestly. You don't think you need to get like 100% of this like fury. I don't even know if you can really get there, but pretty much at the end of the day, yeah, this is a really cool thing. It just gives you extra crit chance and crit damage if you enter the state. We also have like cooldown reduction over here. These are just ones that I kind of wanted to go for, as I'm not doing like SMGs or AR or any of these other weapon types. Although that is an option if you don't want to get this technical ability. I just thought it was kind of good to get cooldown reduction because cooldown reduction in most games is generally pretty good. And then I didn't put any points into cool or intelligence, but the relic, the only thing that matters for our build because we're not using the mantis blades, is going to be vulnerability analytics. This allows us to basically apply a little weak spot that is going to be a triangle. There's going to be a little diamond shape, or not triangle. It's a little like a, yeah, it's a little, I guess it's a rotated square. So it's a little like diamond shape on the enemies. And if you hit it, it's going to give you 100% crit chance, armor pen, and then you're going to be getting a bonus of extra crit damage against the vulnerabilities. And this can stack multiple times. So this is the only thing that matters with the relics. You don't even really need to get your relic points. If you play the campaign, well, you only really need the, well, you can unspec out of this at any point. You only need to put in 3 points in this and 1 more. So all you need is 4 points. The rest of the stuff, we don't use cloaking and we do not use the mantis blades because the katana is way cooler because it's part of the Genji. All right, so that is it for the skill tree. Now, in terms of the items over here, and some of the stuff I was running because of aesthetics. So what's cool is we actually have an item called OverWatch in the game. It's a sniper. So this is what I was running. So the first weapon slot is completely optional. If you want to, you can run an SMG. If you want to fulfill like a Sombra fantasy, you want to do that, that's fine too. But the primary focus of the build on most of the pieces of gear have like melee stuff. So the katana and the sniper is actually kind of required. You need something that's long range. And the reason why is if you see a finisher on an enemy that's super high up, what happens with the katana or any melee weapon, the game still has this bug where what happens is it teleports you into the area where you just die. If you see a target that's too far away and it says finish, don't do it. You will actually eliminate yourself. I've done it. So it's more likely a bug, but if you eliminate an enemy where you're not supposed to go to, like on high balconies, there's a couple areas in the campaign where enemies are super far away, and if you try to do a finisher on them, the game bugs out and you just die. So yeah, you need a long range weapon. So AR, sniper, whatever you want to run. Also, this fulfills, I guess, the Widowmaker fantasy. But yeah, Katana and this are definitely great. And then for cyberware, I literally just threw in a bunch of things just so I can play with them. The only thing I actually really liked having is ping. So what it allows me to do is I ping the target so I know where all the enemies are, and then I can just dash and just kill all of them. The rest of the stuff honestly does not matter at all, but I'll mouse over the ones I was running. It's kind of fun, just to go ahead and short circuit or reboot their optics. Kind of fun stuff, but overall ping is the only one that I actually like. You can run a standee if you want to slow down time. I'm not even running this explosive projectile thing. I was running it for a while. If you want to throw in something else, by all means go for it. I'm just giving you guys the stuff that I was running. If I have all my slots filled in, I got a bonus. This doesn't really matter. It does let you do the optical implant, but it's not really like we're really using it. We can though. And then blood pump, I like this one because it gives us extra heals. So it just heals us, and then extra carrying capacity, and then EMP grenade to fulfill the Sombra fantasy, but is really good against some of the robots, like in the very beginning in the intro clip where we eliminated the robot. This was actually very, very helpful because it's bonus damage and it kind of staggers them. Very awesome stuff, and it deactivates their cyberware for 20 seconds. And then for the rest of the stuff, honestly, most of the stuff doesn't give me stats. I liked it because it made my character look cool. This hairstyle is available when you have this bandana. And then for this one, I guess it does give us armor. I do have stuff that gives me more armor, but I liked how this looked. I felt like this character just looked cool like this, so this is what I decided to wear. But again, some of the stuff, you can swap this out. Obviously, anything that gives you any stats, like melee damage resistance, is better than no stats. But I liked how the character looked, and this is what I ended up by the end of my gameplay, although when we were getting new items, I was kind of messing around. But that's going to be pretty much it for the build. Let me know what you think of it, and if you guys want me to upload more builds, I do plan to upload a lot more in the future. I'm going to be doing more dedicated, character fantasies from maybe even other video games. I want to do a Soldier 76 where we have aimbot the whole time, and we're going to do it, and we're going to try to go for, basically 100% crit chance, maybe in the air. It's going to be fun. So, we are going to be doing more character fantasy builds, but this is the CyberPunk Phantom Liberty Genji Sombra Widowmaker build, and I had a blast with it, and a lot of you guys liked it for the live stream, and yeah, have fun with this. Anyways, if there's any suggestions for this, because this is my first CyberPunk build, usually I'm doing Diablo build guides, but this is my first CyberPunk one, so if you guys want to give me any feedback or want to see anything in the future, let me know. But if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, turn the bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.